You're watching TVC Breakfast. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission has concluded elections in Kano, Sokoto, Benue, and Plateau State.
Supplementary elections held last Saturday after the initial elections held in those states on March the 9th were declared inconclusive. Governors Abdullahi Ganduje, Aminu Tambuwal, Samuel Otom, and Simon Lalong have been re-elected in their various states.
But how did the Electoral Commission fare in its handling of the election? What was the level of participation in the affected states? Is the outcome a true reflection of the people's choice? It's also another question that a lot of Nigerians are asking. Joining me now is a political analyst, Dan Akinlami, here in the studio. Dan, good morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning.
Right. Now, what do you make of the outcome of the supplementary election? Were you surprised at the outcome of any of those?
No, no surprise. No surprise. We've seen this same circle playing out all the way from Ekiti governorship election and Osun State governorship election. So once the election is forced into the supplementary like this, we seem to lose control of how to manage all these rescheduled elections.
All right. Now, the point, a lot of Nigerians still have issues with the elections declared inconclusive in the first place. Did you find any
That's where
concern?
the problem started from. And it's unfortunate that we found ourselves in this situation.
But the Electoral Act states certainly, INEC is saying they're following the Electoral Act, which stipulates that if the outcome, if the margin between the winner and the runner-up is less than
definitely,
the votes.
yeah, definitely. That means there has to be a supplementary election. But I think where the problem is that this particular INEC has not done much to improve on this system. It's one thing to have supplementary election. It's another thing to also make these elections are taking place in small constituencies and units and even ward. So we shouldn't have this election even creating more problem than general elections.
You think there's more problem? What problems are there?
It creates more problem. Look at the circumstances in Kano, for example. The same thing played out in the Osun governorship election, supplementary election. The level of violence, disenfranchisement of people that are supposed to vote. So we need to do more to make sure that we are not forcing election into the hand of some few thugs to decide the winner of this post.
Would you blame INEC in that regard? Maybe and not the security agencies who are supposed to provide security for the elections?
Well, you know, the issue is quite complex. You can see an aspect of security lapses in some of these issues. But beyond that, INEC need to do more to strengthen the system, to strengthen the electoral institution. This old 2019 election has opened up so much issues. We are not moving forward. 2015, we consolidated on so many areas. There were fewer election issues in that tribunal in 2015. But see what we are finding ourselves now. More people are, the result of this is that more people are going to end up in the tribunal.
Yeah, but wouldn't you see it as us also strengthening our political system when people are resorting to going to court rather than taking the laws into their hands?
Obviously, we started from there since '99. And I think the wish of everyone who wants the progress on the system is that we should have less people resorting to the court to collect their mandate. The mandate should be given at the polling unit. And I think we need to do more that this situation where we find ourselves that a whole local government or major constituency will be deprived of the opportunity to vote on the voting day. That will now force us to go into supplementary. We need to do something about it.
Okay. Now, when you look at the figures from the supplementary elections that took place on Saturday, you know, some states you have a number or figure of 1 million, all of that. But then when you look at the figures in the results trickling out, or that trickled out rather, you wonder what really is happening. Is it that people are no longer confident in the electoral process, or is this a reflection of people not really want to be a part of whatever is going on?
Well, I don't think it's the futa apathy or lack of interest. If you watch the trail of event before the election, the enthusiasm was very high. But I think the violence aspect of these elections also discouraged a lot of people for coming out, especially for the supplementary ones. So I think that is where we have a lot to do going forward.
When you say we have a lot to do for a state like Kano, you know, the DIG was there and other commissioners of police were also deployed there, but then the level of violence that took place still happened.
And that is why it's even more disappointing. See the level of security personnel deployed for this just a small part of the states that have to do with the supplementary polls. And at the end, the violence still overwhelmed the process.
When did our elections come to this level of, as some have put it, a do or die affair? Because when you look at the violence,
Nigerian
people say
political
this is a reflection.
system is such that we must be able to improve on the system every now and then. Why? Because Nigerian politicians are desperate. If you introduce a new approach to the electoral system today, it may make a difference in the first election. Before the next round of election or after 4 years, they've gone to master how to beat the system.
So how do we improve the system that they can't beat?
I think where we should start from is to have amendment to the Electoral Act.
Will that change anything?
We need to have stronger laws that can rebuild the electoral institution. We should have provisions that can make the system to be seamless.
Will that curb violence?
I think to a large extent, if the system is seen to be watertight and seems to be very thorough, that can produce free and fair process, a lot of people will not resort to violence. They will go back to work. If you are given the mandate now, you will know that the next 4 years, if you do not perform, there's no way you can cheat the system. So we need to make the electoral provision to take care of many of these shortcomings. So, and that is to tell that the next National Assembly, the 9th Assembly, need to get to work. We can see the loopholes. At this stage, Nigeria should outgrow the process of carrying this ballot paper from, PU to the world and collation offices.
And in all of this, where is the place of voter education? How important and crucial is it?
Yeah, voter education actually used to be the concern before. But in this scenario now, voter education is actually not the problem. In this 2019 scenario, a lot of people actually turned out in the first round of the elections. People wanted to exercise their franchise. But you can see that in so many areas, either card reader was not functioning or violence taking place, making it difficult for people to vote. So I think we need to work on the system. Unfortunately, we lost the opportunity of the last Electoral Act amendment, which would have taken care of many of these things.
Dan Akinlami, political analyst, thank you for your time on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you.